Good morning, Year 9. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. So today you're doing dialogue, so could you please write the title of dialogue and the date? Also, could you complete the do now, which is to add in the correct punctuation. So let's read through these together, and for each one you need to consider where do you add in the punctuation. Now you know why I couldn't wait to get here, said Esteban. Wouldn't it be wonderful to stay and watch the sunset? Peter asked. I'd love to do that, said Gilda, but we forgot to bring flashlights to guide us back down. Maybe you forgot to bring a flashlight, said Carol. I never go hiking without one. Hooray, cheered Gilda. Does that mean we can stay? Maybe we should ask Harry, said Ray. He's the one who has to carry 2 backpacks. So those are your sentences. Please pause the video for about 5 minutes to add in the correct punctuation. So these are your answers. Can you please pause the video to check you got them right? If not, please correct your work. Okay, so for task 1, I would like you to write these down. Okay, so these are your key rules for dialogue. Speech marks go at the start and the end of words being spoken. There should always be a capital letter at the start of speech. Punctuation goes inside the speech marks. If there's a new speaker, you need to move on to a new line. You also need to use a comma to separate the speech from the speech tag. So please could you pause the video for about 5 minutes to write this down. Okay, so task 2 is using adverbs. So as you know, a verb is a describing word, and an adverb is a word that describes the verb. So the most common speech tag, an indicator of speech, is he or she said. To add more detail or information, you can add adverbs. So said is the verb, it's the doing word, and then the word describing how the speech is being said, in this situation is excitedly. He or she said excitedly. Use adverbs after the word said to reflect how someone is feeling or how they said something. For example, here it is, he said cheerfully, indicates a feeling of happiness. Here it is, he said loudly, indicates how he is talking, i.e. at a high volume. So please write out the sentence 3 more times. So the sentence, here it is, he said, and each time add a different adverb to show either how the person is feeling, so happy, sad, angry, disappointed, and so on, or how he is saying it, so loudly or softly or, quiet, very, very quietly. So think about adverbs to show how the person is speaking. So please pause the video for about 5 minutes to do that now. So task 3, speech tags. To improve the quality of your writing, you should vary your speech tags. Try substituting said for another way of talking. For example, she shouted or he called out. List as many different ways of saying something as you can. For example, shouted or called out. And to help you, think of how you might talk in different situations. So for example, a library, a football stadium, when you are feeling tired, upset or grumpy. So how might you say something? So pause the video for 5 minutes to do this now. What I'd like to do next is write down the words in red, please. So make sure you're clear who is talking. Bob and Pete went inside the house. He asked, "Do you have anything to eat?" "No thanks, I'm okay," he replied. So the problem there, it's not really clear who has said what. Did Bob ask the question and Pete reply, or vice versa? So make sure you're making it really clear who is saying what. Omit, leave out, unnecessary and or the same speech tags. "Hello," said Bob. "Hi," said Bill. "I bought you a present," said Bob. So you're getting really bored of the said Bob, said Bill, said Bob. So for the second one, You could say, "Hello," said Bob. "Hi," said Bill. "I brought you a present." You know you're going back to Bob, so you don't need to say, "Right," said Bob again. "You did," Bill said. "Thank you." So again, for the last two, you know the pattern of alteration, so you don't need to put in "said Bob," said Bill said. Also vary where you put the speech tag. So you can put it before the speech. Barry snapped, "Yes, spit it out, man." Interrupting the speech. "Yes," snapped Barry. "Spit it out, man." Or after the speech. "Yes, spit it out, man," snapped Barry. So 3 different places you can put the speech tag makes it a little bit more varied. So please could you write down the 3 headings in red. Okay, could you also write this down? Every sentence must do one of 2 things: reveal character or advance action, and that's from Kurt Vonnegut. The same is true for dialogue. Remember your character's motivation for something and the conflict that they face when you are writing what they say. So please pause the video to write that down. So task 5. Choose one of the 2 situations and write out the dialogue. So testing the waters. 2 people are on a date. Each thinks he or she might have feelings for the other one, but each is afraid of getting hurt. So he or she wants to find out the other's feelings before revealing his or her own. Write a conversation in which they are both trying to get the other person to say how he or she sees the relationship going. By the end of the conversation, at least one of them should know the other's feelings. So that's option 1. Option 2 is reluctant roommate. Friend A thinks it would be great to share an apartment with friend B. Friend B would rather die, but wants to get out of this without hurting friend A's feelings. Write a conversation in which the 2 friends discuss the living arrangements and then come to a conclusion. By the end of the conversation, one of the friends will not be pleased with the outcome. So please pause the video for 20 minutes or until the end of the lesson to write out one of the 2 situations and the dialogue that goes along with it. Okay, so hopefully you've now written out your dialogue. I hope you found that interesting. And so let's have a final reflection before we end. Dialogue is an opportunity to reveal character. Remember to pay attention to how your character says something, as well as what they say. So that brings us to the end of today's lesson. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for your hard work, and I'll see you next time.